Okay, you have your NFL Week 11 power rankings. So starting off at number 10, we have Arizona Cardinals back on this list after a 2 years absence. The Cardinals, they're in a four-game winning streak right now. They beat some decent opponents. Um, Kyler Murray has looked really, really good in that win streak. I think the Cardinals' defense isn't such a liability anymore. Their defense actually is playing decent football right now. And like I said, that offense, Murray's having himself an insane game. Trey McBride is doing great. James Conner continuing to carve it up with the Cardinals. The Cardinals, they look like a sneaky playoff team right now. Their offense definitely up there, and their defense hasn't been terrible. Number 9, I'm gonna have the Minnesota Vikings staying where they are. Was it a good win versus the Jaguars? No. Um, Sam Darnold has not looked good these last couple of weeks. He threw 3 picks versus the Jaguars. Their offense has looked out of sync. I will say that defense continues to be very good. The defense managed to shut down Mac Jones and that Jaguars offense. Not a huge accomplishment, but their defense throughout the season has been one of the best. Their offense really has to pick it back up, has to start rebounding like they did earlier in the season. Number 8, I'm gonna have the Washington Commanders down 3 spots. In the past 3 weeks, they have not looked great. They lost versus the Steelers. They beat the Giants, but they're the Giants, and they beat the Bears off a Hail Mary. Offensively, they still look pretty good. The Steelers are a pretty tough defense, and their offense in general, Jaden Daniels has still played very good. Even missing Brian Robinson, Eckler still racking up those touchdowns. Terry McLaurin is there. Offense, I think, is still fine, but their defense, not great versus the Steelers. They haven't been terrible this year, but they still like a piece or two away. Hopefully, Marshawn Lattimore can change that. But to me, their defense still probably a liability right now. But their offense good. Number 7, I'm gonna have the Green Bay Packers down a spot. They were on a bye, and I don't usually drop teams on a bye, but Packers, I might have overrated them last week, so I have them at number 7. Then number 6, I'm gonna have the Philadelphia Eagles up 2 spots. Eagles come off another win. They're won 4 or 5 straight games now. They're surprisingly 7-2 and leading the NFC East. Eagles slow start to that game versus the Cowboys. However, they picked it up. The Eagles' defense surprisingly has been decent. They haven't really played anybody great other than the Bengals, but their defense honestly hasn't been that bad, and their offense has been pretty good. People might be underrating the Eagles a little bit, but we still need that big signature win. I think their best opponent they beat is either the Packers in week 1 or the Bengals a couple of weeks ago. So the Eagles, they're looking good right now, but they really haven't played that many like that good competition. Number 5, I'm gonna have the Pittsburgh Steelers up 2 spots. They beat a very good Commanders team, and Russell Wilson, he's 3-0 since coming back. He's played really good football. That Steelers offense, I think this year with Justin Fields and Russ, they've looked pretty good, like above average offense, which is good for the Steelers standard. Russ is doing good. Najee is Najee. Pickens and Mike Williams caught that game-winning touchdown. The Steelers' defense, honestly, is all right, but hasn't been that same dominating defense that we saw previous seasons. They're still good. They still got the stop against the Commanders in that final drive, but their defense, hopefully that won't get worse. But their defense is still average right now. But I'm really impressed with their offense, like I've said the past 3 weeks. The number 4, I'm gonna have the Buffalo Bills staying where they are. They beat the Indianapolis Colts starting Joe Flacco. It was kind of a slow start, but they got the win. Missing Keon Coleman hurts that Bills offense quite a bit. However, that Bills defense still all right. That offense still all right. I'm not sure what to think of the Bills. They really haven't beaten that many good opponents. But at the same time, they keep winning and they keep putting up good stats. I'm gonna have the Bills at 4. Number 3, I'm gonna have the Baltimore Ravens. They look like the best team right now, or close to the best team, but they still have those couple of weird losses against the Raiders and the Browns. Number 2, I'm gonna have the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff threw 5 picks, but the Lions still won, and that's because the rest of their team is very good. The defense is very good. That offensive line, those skill position players, especially those running backs, are really good. So even when Jared Goff doesn't have his best game, they can still win. And Jared Goff, before that game, he was playing lights out football, so I still trust that he'll bounce back. The Lions, talent wise, they look like the best. And then teams that dropped out, obviously the Houston Texans. Like I said, missing Nico really hurts that Texans offense like a lot. They couldn't score in the second half. Texans defense not bad, but you can't expect them to hold the whole game against a very good offense like the Lions. The Texans, they really have to figure it out on offense. At number 1, the bullshit continues. It's the Kansas City Chiefs winning off a blocked field goal versus the Denver Broncos. The only reason they're number 1 is because they're 9-0 and they know how to win. That's the thing. Even though their offense has not looked good, their defense has looked really, really good, and they come up clutch. Whether it's overtime versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or blocking the field goal. The Kansas City Chiefs know how to win, and that is why they are number 1. So there you have it, my NFL Week 11 power rankings.